Hello everyone, thank you for tuning into my channel. So today I am coming to you with a little story time, and this is a situation that actually just occurred like right hours ago, maybe not even hours ago. This was an experience today that my life could have ended, y'all. I could be in a hospital bed somewhere, in a coma somewhere. Y'all, I could have died. I could have died. I got hair in my eye. I'm sorry, y'all. I got hair in my eye. So, I'm in DC. I just had a beautiful event, a fun event with my business partner, Jenell O Beauty. And we, of course, we was hungry. We left the event, we're hungry. I mean, having not eaten since about 10:30 in the morning, and it was after 4 in the evening. We were starving, and we had been working nonstop that entire time. So you know, we were hungry. Go to a restaurant that was suggested to us as a place we must eat in DC. Really excited to go there, and we waited 35 minutes to get seated. Hey, it's a Saturday, it's DC, right in the middle of DC, like right near the White House. We knew it was gonna be a little bit of a wait, and we were happy that it was only 35 minutes. We had the opportunity of seeing the menu while we were waiting, and I noticed that they had a meatless section, and I was very happy about that because, as y'all know, I'm vegan. There were about 6 items on the menu, inclusive of 2 different burgers, 2 different risotto dishes, and I don't even remember what the other 2 things were. Oh, one was a meatloaf, a vegetable, mushroom loaf rather, and something else. So I asked the waiter, and I asked the waiter for 2 reasons. Because I know that I am vegan, I always ask the waiter what's on stuff, what's in stuff. I need to know what's on stuff, I need to know what's in stuff. And another reason why I always ask people what's on or in stuff is because I have a very serious nut allergy. Unlike people who are allergic to peanuts, where they're not able to be around peanuts or eat peanuts or anything like that, I actually enjoy peanuts, and I can eat them. I enjoy peanut butter, and I enjoy eating raw peanuts and so on. My allergy is not with the peanuts. My allergy is with every other nut except for peanuts, although most recently I've noticed I can actually eat almonds. So those are the 2 reasons why I always ask the waiters and the waitresses what's in foods, because I want to make sure they're not. And for the most part, most restaurants are very responsible with how they word their menu because of people's allergies. You know, there's a lot of people who are now gluten-free and have gluten allergies, but of course that wasn't really a thing in the past. But still, if you put something on the menu, there should be some small little sentence, at least a small little sentence, explaining to you what the dish is or what it includes. And in the entire meatless section of this menu, it's just the name of the item. Literally, it says mushroom vegetable loaf. Don't even know which vegetables come in the loaf, but we know that it's a loaf, and we know that it has mushroom. And they had some mushroom something risotto. Don't know what else comes with it, but there was mushroom and there was risotto. And basically, that's what it was. So I had inquired specifically about 2 to 3 different options that I wanted. And I found out that the option that I was getting came with cheese, but it was the burger, cranberry burger. And it came with cheese. I asked obviously for no cheese. I asked what else does it come with, what else is in it, and I was told that it comes with all these different toppings on a burger. Okay, great. So I felt like I was good. So the food came, I took a picture of it. It looked really, really good. And I took a bite, and it was so good. I took a bite. And then this is where shit went left. After one bite, my mouth felt completely irritated. And if you've never had an allergic reaction, I'm gonna do my best to give you a visual of what it will feel like. So your body immediately knows that something is not right. And what I believe happens is your histamines are heightened. So whatever area of your body is having this allergy, it becomes irritated. And in my case, because I bit the burger, it was my mouth. My mouth immediately became irritated, and my tongue in the areas in my mouth and my throat started to itch, and I could kind of start to feel it in my ears because this is all connected. And I could sense that there wasn't something right. I also started to feel it on the outside of my mouth. And this is happening in seconds. It's not like this is happening over 20-minute course where it's mildly feeling a little tingle here. It was one bite, y'all, one bite. So I was like, oh, what's in this? I feel like there's nuts in this immediately. And because I've had enough experiences with my allergy an allergy flare up at the hands of eating nuts, I knew there was nuts. So as soon as our waiter walked by, I was like, is there nuts in this? And I tried not to be too panicky, but at the same time, I needed my voice to sound a little bit sharp so he could understand that there was a serious thing. And he was like, why are you allergic? And I was like, deathly. And I said, I think there's nuts in this. I need to know. So he went to go investigate, but at the same time, because in seconds upon seconds, my allergy is getting more intense, I immediately grabbed my bag and I have Benadryl in there. I always carry about 3 Benadryl. I've actually divided a pack of Benadryl amongst all of my purses. I even carry it in my makeup bag because if I'm wearing a purse that doesn't have any in them, I know I have my makeup bag with me. And so I had opened up my makeup bag, I grabbed one, and then I decided to grab a second one, and I had a second one. I have another, I believe I have another Benadryl in there, but I did not end up using that. So he finally comes back and he says, yes, there's walnuts. Of all the nuts to be in this burger, there were walnuts, and walnuts do me in. I've actually visited the emergency room as a child because we had eaten walnuts before we understood that I had this allergy and how serious it was. I went to the emergency room with welts all over my face, scratching my entire body, and we had no idea that what was going on. But when we did finally find out, oh, she's having an allergic reaction, and we put 2 and 2 together that we had been eating nuts at the time that it occurred, we knew that I had an allergy to walnuts. And through my childhood, not knowing that my allergy was to all nuts because I had been eating peanuts and enjoyed them and enjoyed peanut butter, I found out slowly through trial and error that I was also allergic to almonds, I was also allergic to cashews, I was also allergic to pistachios, and I've not tried hazelnuts or macadamia nuts, but I can drink hazelnut coffee. Don't know if it really comes from the hazelnut at all. And any other nuts that are out there, I've not tried them. So I was like in a panic because I'm like, how could you not tell me that there were nuts in here? And I feel like the restaurant has a responsibility because they should clearly know that something like nuts should be informed. You should inform that on your menu, like contains nuts, or may contain nuts or something, or your waitress and waiters, at least at the maximum, if someone asks for that dish, should know to say that it contains nuts. Or if I ask, like how I did, that should be one of the things that they say. So my allergy kept flaring up, and fortunately for me, I've experienced this enough to know when I start to feel the itchies come on, don't scratch. So my outside of my mouth right here in this area was really, really itchy. My forehead was really, really itchy. You can see me scratching a little bit on this video because I do have areas where I'm still kind of itchy. I'm just trying to alleviate the sensations, but you know, my neck was really itchy and areas of my arm, and I feel it in my scalp a lot even now as I speak to you. But my allergy has come down. The antihistamines and the Benadryl are working, and I'm feeling so much better. So basically when he came back and he told me that there were walnuts, and I expressed how, you know, my disappointment with him not sharing with me that was there, I then continued to go through the menu because of course they're going to replace my meal, only to find out every single item on there, with the exception of maybe one that I did not want, had nuts in it, walnuts at that. So it was almost like, not only are you not letting people know that the burger that I had walnuts in it, but this entire meatless menu comes with nuts. And I even asked if they could just make it without the nuts, assuming, you know, maybe they are hand making it in the back, and that's not the case. That's how they come. So I really had no option but to get just French fries. So I did. and I made the situation work. I sat on my hands so that I could prevent myself from scratching. But there were moments when I would just forget and I would start scratching, and you know, I'm still kind of doing it now because it's just, you're just so itchy, it's hard, and you forget, like, don't do it because then you irritate yourself. And then I start to break out in hives and I have welts all over my face, and then they just itch and it's uncontrollable. So I don't want that to happen. So yeah, that's basically what happened and why I almost died, y'all. One of the managers came over to investigate a little bit further. He was really cool, young guy. Most likely he's in his 20s. I wouldn't even say he's even 30. He looks really, really young, but he could have been. He apologized and he was trying to, you know, be relatable, and he was kind of cool. He was trying to be funny and not too serious, which was cool because we're cool people. And he took care of our meal, so everything was on the house. And of course, that's the least that they could do, considering that they could have had a lawsuit on their hands. Like, their menu should clearly state when things have a high risk of allergy. And in fact, the one item that didn't have walnuts on the menu had pine nuts, which I found out a lot later in life because I don't ever eat pesto. Pesto was in it, and pesto's made with pine nuts, but I'm not from an Italian family, so eating pesto on things is not something that I do. And I ended up getting a panini once that had pesto on it. Didn't even know that pesto had nuts in it, and I had a crazy allergic reaction with that. So I learned pesto has pine nuts in it after that day. You're gonna learn today. I learned. So that's what happened. I almost died. It's a learning experience. You know, I have been told, because I know someone's gonna tell me, Jenell, you need to get an EpiPen. And I have been told that I should have an EpiPen. But the reason why I've not ever decided to get an EpiPen is because I just don't know if I would be able to stab myself and administer the medicine. Like, I know people who have ever had any type of serious near-death allergic reaction experience are most likely going to tell me that I'm crazy. I need to stop playing with my life. This is life or death. Like, this is not a joke. What happens if you don't have your Benadryl? I guess it could be the same thing. Like, I could also as easily not have my EpiPen, but I just cannot see myself jamming a needle in my leg or wherever to administer medicine, whereas the effects of the EpiPen would obviously be much faster because it takes about a good hour, and now even longer. As I'm talking to you, I'm still kind of having the effects of it. It takes a while for that Benadryl to really work, and I took 2 of them. So, you know, I've had times where I've literally drunken the Benadryl to the point where I was so drowsy and woozy I had to go to sleep because I had drank it so much, which is an issue because of course I could overdose myself, I suppose. So that's not the safest thing for me to be doing. But I just don't want to get an EpiPen. I'm just not, like I said, I cannot see myself doing that. And I know to carry my Benadryl because I know that this could potentially happen. I do my best to avoid this by asking questions, but apparently the manager shared with us that the waiter we have, or the entire restaurant, is about to revamp their menu, and they are training everybody on what's in the foods. What are the types of things in the foods that people would probably need to know, such as nuts. And they didn't get to that training yet. Side eye, how convenient. So, yeah, I'm gonna just end here, but I would love for you to share with me any near-death experiences that you've ever had, because I think that they're really interesting to listen to, even though it's very scary and shocking all at the same time when you're going through it, but they're interesting to listen to. So I would love to hear if you have any near-death experiences, and if you've never had any near-death experiences, regardless of if you have or if you haven't, what are some things you're allergic to? Do you have any allergies, and how severe are they? I'd love to hear about those. And give this video a like give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Please leave any comments and questions below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. And as always, I love you for watching. Bye.